Hey guys, Dave here. Welcome to the Centurions Review, the punk rock band of war game review institutions. This is the Siege of Syracuse from 1415 to 413 BC. It's from Turning Point Simulations, not Civilizations. This is Chapter 2 of their 21 games that are about different battles that were turning points in wars. So let's take a look inside. I got the Ziploc bag version. There's also a box version, but I didn't want to pay extra for the box. I was trying to save money. I got so many games, I need to save money wherever possible because I spend too much money on games. Alright, as you can see, the artwork on the front cover is absolutely fantastic. Alright, let's see who that artist is. Cover illustration, Terry Leeds. Yeah, if any of you guys ever try to publish your own game, you might want to consider using that artist to do the artwork. His artwork is just fantastic. Looks like the game's designed by Paul Rohrbach and developed by Jim Werbaneth. Alright, let's take a look inside. See how many pages the rulebook is. Rulebook is 12 pages and it's in full color. Starts out going over what the different values mean on the counters. Looks like you got naval units, infantry units, leaders, cavalry, and then peltasts, archers, and light troops. So the hoplites would actually be heavy infantry, phalanx troops. And it starts out with some definitions in case you're not familiar with them. And here's the sequence of play. There's a random events phase, supply and initiative determination phase, operations phase, and then an administration phase. Looks like during the administration phase you determine if victory has occurred. If not, you rally troops. Alright, and it's going over initiative and morale and more detail. And then operations. Looks like the operations consist of impulses. Looks like each impulse has an activation, declaration, a number of activating units, movement, reaction movement. Marathon had reaction movement too. I actually like the reaction movement. That's kind of interesting. Makes the game go a little bit faster too. And then you have combat, and this one has wall construction. I just did a review of Marathon from the same series. Check it out on my website. Alright, so over here it's going into the things you do during the impulse in more detail, such as movement and stuff. And going over combat here, it looks like there's skirmish combat in this and pitched battle. I was just reading a rule set from Shoots Games, and it was about I think it was called The Fall of France. That was a World War II game, but it had skirmish combat in that and regular combat too. Alright, this has supply also. And some special rules such as, what does that say? SICEL? I don't even know how to pronounce that. Sickle units? Oh, they're units put in play by both sides and represent volunteers and draftees of Sicilian natives. So I would have called them just Sicilian units, but that's just me. And going over siege walls, forts. And here's the victory conditions. There's an automatic victory. The Athenian gets automatic victory when all areas adjacent to area L-7 are occupied by normal status hoplite units, and there are no Syracusan allied naval units in play. The Syracusan player achieves an automatic victory whenever there are no Athenian naval units in play, and all Athenian leaders currently introduced to the game are either reduced or eliminated. Alright. And then there's surrender. If neither player has won an automatic victory, a D10 check is made to determine if the side with the lowest morale surrenders. Begin making a surrender check with the winter 415 to 414 turn on turn 2. And there's some modifiers for surrender. Interesting. Alright, and over here it's going over the setup and reinforcements. And here's some tables. You got a random events table down here. Morale level adjustments, initiative level adjustments, tactical battle board round sequence of play. So there's a battle board, interesting. Movement and siege wall construction modifiers. And you got more charts over here. Skirmish fight modifiers, escape skirmish modifiers, fire combat modifiers, assault combat results table, naval assault modifiers, and ramming and attack modifiers. This could have probably used a player aid chart, one for each player. That's quite a few tables. You'll be passing the rulebook back a lot. Let's take a look at the counters. Counters, yeah, they're hard to read. Let's zoom in a little bit there. Yeah, not much contrast, and like the words have little artwork going through them and stuff. Yeah, I don't like the counters that much, but could be a good game still. Yeah, I mean, some of them look good. Like, that counter looks pretty good, but the one above it, it has numbers in blue, and you can barely see them on the red background. These two-sided, yeah, most of them at least. Alright, I guess this is the battle board here. There's been a lot of games with battle boards over the years. I'm not a big fan of them. They're not bad, per se, but they usually seem to add time to the game, setting up the battle board and stuff, so it's something that slows down the game. I mean, there's been plenty of games I've played with battle boards that I've liked, but overall I'd prefer games than use them. But like I said, it doesn't necessarily make it a bad game or anything. It's just going to slow down the gameplay a bit. But alright, the map is mounted. It's alright. Pretty simple artwork on it, but it's okay. Nice that it's mounted. It's got a turn track on it and an impulse initiative or morale. So this is a low footprint game. You can throw this on the kitchen table or on the coffee table and play it. It's not like playing, like, what did I play the other day that took up a lot of space? The War of the Worlds. That game takes up quite a bit of space, and that one has two battle boards, one for naval and one for foot combat against the tripods. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you guys soon, and have a good evening and be safe.